We are back, folks, for another edition of Inside Michigan Recruiting. Pleased to be joined by one of the transfer portal additions to the University of Michigan. Got it all kicked off last week in the commitment flurry. 4 pledges last week in Aamir Hall out of Albany, an FCS All-American. Kicked things off, started off his college career at Richmond, transferred to Albany, and now on his way to Michigan. So first things first, Aamir, congratulations on becoming a Wolverine, and welcome to the show.
Man, blessed to be here, man. I appreciate that.
So, Aamir, this is a bit of a whirlwind is how I explained it as far as all of the Michigan commitments last week. But for you, your journey from Baltimore to Richmond to Albany to Michigan, that seems like a bit of a whirlwind. So let's go back to the beginning of it, though. Coming up in high school in Baltimore, been producing a lot of talent. You took your talents to Richmond. Take us through your initial recruiting journey.
Just to initially start off, I had a very low recruitment out of high school. I had a couple of military FBS offers and very few FCS offers. So I went with Richmond coming out of high school. And, it was a really good experience going there and being able to play very early and solidify myself. So that was really dope.
Yeah. So your years at Richmond, your 3 years at Michigan, right? You were at Richmond. You were 3 years there.
2.5, yes.
2.5 years at Richmond.
Yes,
So, what your takeaways from that? Because you said you went in there and you were able to play early. How quickly did you move into the starting lineup? And what would you say your biggest takeaways from your time in Richmond were?
Honestly, just put your head down and work and take coaching. That's really one of the biggest things. Coming in early, I knew I wanted to play and get on the field early. So that was my biggest thing. We didn't have a season during the 2020 season due to COVID. And a lot of FBS schools played a full season, even though it didn't count. But we didn't get that opportunity. So I just took the time to really hone in on getting in the weight room, working hard, establishing a rapport with my teammates. And then we did a fall camp in about October, November, around that time during 2020. So I was able to really just solidify myself on the roster and compete for a starting role very early just by my maturity and me coming in with a set goal.
Okay, so you spent 2.5 years at Richmond. You were having some success. What led you to go from Richmond to Albany?
Just an opportunity to really just better myself and put my best foot forward. I knew that if I could come in and really just set a team up, I would be able to really do something very special. And I saw an opportunity at Albany where the coaching staff, they just needed another player that would really fit that piece so that they could be something very special.
So you become an FCS All-American, Aamir. At some point, players know when they're balling out. I mean, was there a point? What was that point in the season for you? Where you're like, man, I'm playing at a really All-American level. You remember that moment for you when you realized that you're really doing your thing?
Not really. I feel like I always played at a very high level. That's just something that I have to do at corner. It's a very you have to be just a very high functioning, high level player to really be on the field. And I feel like during last season, I probably say the UNH game was when I started to really pick up and just really see all right, I'm one of the best players out here on the field, consistently week in and week out.
Mm-hmm. So you have an opportunity after the season. Your profile is on another level. Like I said, All-American, and you're feeling interest as you hit the portal. You're feeling interest from Power 5 schools. So who are all the schools that were, before we get to your decision to visit Michigan, who are all the schools that kind of showing you interest and showing you love once you jumped in the portal?
A lot of schools kind of came and went. I feel like the schools that recruited me most heavily were Marshall, University of Virginia, Syracuse, and Indiana was in there in the mix as well.
So Michigan gets in the mix. So tell me when that went down, your reaction, and how quickly did all that come together?
The process was honestly very fast. Coach Morgan, he reached out to some of my coaches, and I was able to just get a feel for what was going on at Michigan, their interests, and the opportunity that was at stake. And that's something that I took very, very. I didn't take that lightly at all. So it was a dope and very just very just like humbling experience. Like I feel like it was just a call from God, like something was really in store for me. So I came up to Ann Arbor, I checked it out, I came up with my family, and it just felt right.
Mhm. So that visit, you said it felt right. What were the things that stood out to you the most during your time here on campus?
Just the people, like the relationships that I feel like I will gain here is something that I would take with me for the rest of my life. And one thing about Michigan that I've learned very quickly on my visit was just the blue collar mentality and everything that goes into being a Michigan Wolverine. That's something that I try to pride myself on, and I feel like I can fit in that culture very well.
So you look at a defense that, I mean, man, they're really, really loaded. Especially up front. Like, this is a championship level defense. You know,
No
a
doubt.
there are a lot of guys who, there might be a surer path to playing time. Everybody's sure path to starting. Whereas here, you're gonna have to come in and compete. Did that factor in at all into the equation for you? That, hey, man, some other schools were guaranteeing you a starting spot probably, but in Michigan they said you have to gonna have to come in and compete. What about that piece of it joining Michigan?
Competition breeds success, and I feel like for me, this is something that will propel me to the next level, which is my ultimate goal. Where I had to compete every day, I had to compete just to have a roster spot. So that's something that I really took in. Like it really motivated me to really want to just come in and build on top of other talent that's in this room. Like we have a really special room, and we're adding more pieces now. So it feels really dope to just be a part of that and obviously come in and compete.
But there is a starting spot that is open for competition, right? We know Will has one lockdown, and now you
No
get a
doubt.
chance to come in and really compete on that other side. So, a couple of things jump out to me. Did you see how Josh Wallace? Did they talk to you about how Josh Wallace was able to come in the year before and really compete and earn a playing time? Another DMV guy, by the way.
No doubt. I followed his story a little bit last year, just when I originally saw him commit to Michigan. Sorry, and that was just a dope. That was a dope experience for him. I feel like he came in, he was able to really make a name for himself and probably put himself in a position to play in the NFL by coming to Michigan. So that's something that I could see myself doing. Obviously, we're two different players, but it was really a good deal for him, and I feel like that's something I can create for myself.
So let's talk about you. I mean, people are looking over film, trying to find film of you and seeing what your game is like. You know your game better than anyone. So for people who haven't seen you play, break down your game. Give us a scouting report on Aamir Hall.
Very physical, very tenacious, just relentless type of corner. I came into college. I haven't played corner since like I came into college. This was my first snaps playing corner. I was a safety
Wow.
in high school,
Okay.
so I'm just used to coming down. Like I'm a tackler. Like I'm physical. I like to be around the football and make plays on the football. So that's a little bit just about my game. And obviously like over time, like I really learned to hone in on just like some of my man techniques. And that's something that I take pride in, just like being able to lock down one side of the field.
Mhm. Now, did you get a feel for, uh, how the defense is going to play? They've been a defense in the past. It's very coverages a lot. You got Coach Martindale is coming in, going to put his spin on the scheme. Did they talk to you about how how they're going to be playing in the secondary? Are they going to be as multiple on the back end? Are they going to play more man? Did they have that kind of conversation with you?
Absolutely. We're going to do a little bit of everything. And it's dope because this is an NFL system that has been passed down. So these are types of like schemes and like fronts that you'll see on Sundays. So that's only preparing everybody to play at that next level and just really get a feel for what that looks like.
Mhm. And you see a guy like Will Johnson on the other side. I mean, iron sharpens iron, right?
No
So
doubt.
were you familiar with him? Had you watched any of his game before you showed up on campus?
Absolutely. He one of the top corners in the country. And big shout out to him for everything he has done in his career so far. Like he'll be one of the top picks in the draft, and I'm just excited to get him better. He'll definitely get me better when I get there. So it's a dope deal to just be able to play with somebody like that, and that really brings like a room together and really takes a room's game to the next level. Having somebody like that in your room.
So Amir, there's an adjustment period. You go to any new place. You've been through it before, though, right? You
Absolutely.
you transfer from Richmond to Albany, and you were able to jump in and grab a starting spot. So, what are you doing in preparation to sort of get ready from playbook to the physical side? How do you get yourself ready to really hit the ground running here at Michigan?
Literally that, just preparing in the weight room, outside, playbook, and ultimately just mentally. Like you have to be mentally prepared to step into what is a hostile environment. The Big Ten, playing at a school that's defending a national championship. That's something that you have to be mentally prepared for.
Now, when do you show up on campus? Like, what are the next steps in your journey to Michigan?
No doubt. Stepping on campus this summer, getting in with the team, is going to be dope. I'll be up there at the end of this month, so it'll be good to just get started with everybody, meet my teammates, meet my coaches, and just bond. Like it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, the off season. There almost is no off season for you guys playing at this level, right? Guys going in to get work with different trainers and doing things like that. What are you doing on that front before you even get to Michigan to get ready?
No doubt. I have a couple of trainers out here. Courtney Green, he has a gym out here called Sweat Performance. He's been somebody that I've worked with for years, and we have a lot of guys that have played at the FBS level and at the NFL level. That it creates a very just like working and like it's a family community. It's a family based like just environment where everybody's pushing each other to just be the best. And then I have another one of my trainers, Antonio Johnson. He's my DB trainer. He's been doing a really good job with me for the past probably 6 years now since like I left high school. So it's a good deal, man.
Yeah, man, you got to shout everybody out. I want to give you the opportunity to do that. You shouted out your trainers, your family. So, you get a chance to go through this experience to go to Michigan. What was it like for them as they went through the visit with you, and what did they think your decision to commit to Michigan?
Honestly, it was a surreal feeling. This journey has been a little stressful, just trying to find a good fit for me. And my little brother, Aiden, he's autistic. He has cerebral palsy, so we're just trying to find somewhere that can support him and support bringing him up to the games and just having somebody that's like welcome into the community. And I felt the love when I was on campus from everybody. They showed him a lot of love. They showed both of my parents, Tanya and James Hall, love. So it was dope, man. I sat down with Coach Moore and we had a really deep conversation, and that's something that I will probably take with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah, man, that's cool. And so you talked about being able to connect with Coach Moore, your position coach. You're gonna be spending, most of your time with Coach Morgan. So, in closing, just your impressions of Coach Morgan. What was that interaction like? And then the same thing with Coach Martindale.
He's a dope guy. Coach Morgan, he's a family guy, and that's something that I pride myself in. So I feel like we'll get along really well. Just being around him, he's a football junkie, and I love watching film. I love just getting better and learning more about the game so I can become better. And he has a lot of knowledge and just a lot of things that he has put me onto already just from me being there for the short amount of time. And he has the whole secondary, so I'll be able to learn about everything on the field as I move in, and that will make me just an overall better football player. So I'm excited to just build my relationship with Coach Morgan a little bit more as we move forward over these next couple months.
I hear that, man. Now, while you were on campus, did you did you intersect with any of the other guys? Where I can't remember, it was Jaden here when you were. Were any of the other commits here while, or the guys who eventually committed on campus while you were still here?
No, sir.
Okay, so you were solo. You got all the attention while you were on campus, man. Well, listen, I'm happy for you, Aamir. Congratulations on this next phase in your journey, and good luck this season. Can't wait to see you do your thing in Maize and Blue.
No doubt. I appreciate it, man. I'm excited for the opportunity. Go Blue.